020-9494-258 or visit our marketing desk at Stepwork Premises. Adwa TV, bringing good things to life.
Morning to you wherever you are, especially if you're a first timer. Welcome to Adwa TV, where we bring good things to life, and it is AM Ghana, where we start your day on a rather energetic note. I am here, Lady Julia. I'll take my, I'll leave the seat and then allow Reginald to then coming later. We are facing some challenges, but as usual, we bring good things to life, and so we fight through whichever challenges. So sorry about the late start, but my first word this morning to you, of course, I'm bringing you something good from the good book itself, where we are told that, especially Christ telling us that he will send another advocate, who is the Holy Spirit himself. He tells us he will be a comforter, he will be a teacher, and he will be with us. That was the part I laughed so much, that he's going to be with us, being with us, in us, and manifesting as well through us. This morning, especially in this season of Lent, I want to remind you that greater is he that is in you than he that is of the world. So face every challenge, face every situation, face every battle, especially the one you are going through right now, with the knowledge, that background knowledge, that he that is in you is able. He equips you to be more than able and more than victorious for or against that battle. So whatever you are feeling right now, cast this aside. Tell yourself, perhaps you have a mirror, maybe you can use your phone, look at your reflection and tell yourself that I am more than able, I am victorious, because he that is in me is greater than he that is of the world. With that message from the good book itself, I'm talking about the Bible, we'll do another type of good word, and this is a Cameroonian proverb. And it's very short, very precise. I think it hits the nail, perfectly right there, the center on the head. Then bam, it's nailed. And there it says, a chattering bird builds no nest. A chattering bird, you know what to chatter means? To talk, to rant, to keep going and going on and going on. So a chattering bird builds no nest. So one who sits down, not my kind of talking, because my kind of talking is doing a lot of good right now, okay? So, but a chattering bird, one who sits and says, hey, I will do this and I will do that. Hey, the way I'll build my nest, if I get the opportunity to go out, I will select shrubs from maybe the baobab. I'll take sticks from the oak tree, and I will the kind of nest I will build. Nobody, I will lay, you know, my nest with maybe cotton wool. I'll go to the cotton farms, get cotton wool. They chatter minute after minute, hour after hour, day after day, weeks going by, months and years without doing exactly what they are supposed to. And I believe that this African proverb is telling us to get off our comfort zones. Enough of the talking and start doing now. Start working now. Get on that project. Get out of your seat. Get off your, as they will say it, you know, it can't come out from my mouth, so I leave it where it is. But get off, yes, your butt and do something. Start doing something now. With that said, we'll move straight to the Merriam-Webster word of the day, and it's a very, very good word today. It's an adjective describing most of the time personalities. Yes, this adjective is gregarious. Gregarious is spelled Gregarious. So the ears at the end. Yeah, gregarious. Gregarious. Now, gregarious means tending to associate with others of one's own kind. So you associate with others of one's own kind, enjoying or tending to enjoy the company of others. So a synonym for gregarious can be sociable, one who is very sociable. Good. So looking at a little history for it, when you are did you know that when you are one of the head, it's tough to avoid being social. Let me take that again. When you are one of the head, it's tough to avoid being social. In other words, yes, it's just like mingling with your own kind, but not being able to, you know, join another head, because the head kind of describes it's defined. It's like a bracket, putting a bracket around something. All right, the origin of gregarious is from the Latin noun grex, meaning the herd or a flock, right? When they first began appearing in English texts in the 17th century, gregarious was applied mainly to animals. But by the 18th century, it was being used for social human beings as well. So when you tend to remain, you know, in your own sphere, people who are like me. So I tend to socialize with people who are just like me. Perhaps people of the same class, people of, you know, so I don't go outside of my social class. I don't go outside of my educational background. I don't go outside of my neighborhood or my community. I find it difficult socializing with people of another. Yes, then I am gregarious. I believe that is clear. With that said, because of time, I just want to do the newspaper headlines straight away. So always, as usual, I love to do the daily graphic, which has truth and accuracy every day as its motto. So Ghana turns to Dubai to market cocoa and coffee globally. So that's what we are doing in Dubai. In case you don't know, we are going to Dubai to sell cocoa and coffee. Unima. So all those with cocoa, all those with coffee, tie them in your sacks. Let's go. We're going to the airport now. Anyway, moving on to other issues concerning our Greek. 8 months after the Ajay Kotoku relocation, onion sellers bemoan poor amenities. 8 months after relocating from Agbogloshi to Ajay Kotoku, onion sellers continue to express disappointment over the inadequate amenities and limited space to ply their trade in the new market. In other words, I guess what they are saying is you didn't prepare the grounds well before you brought them to that place. So there are some pictures at the front page that indicates what they are going through. Shraj complaints arise. Shraj complaints arise. Resolves over 8,000 cases, and that story is on page 13. And on page 13, you'll find the Ghana Tends to Dubai to market cocoa and coffee story there as well. Strengthen collaboration for effective land administration. Jinapor urges commission. So we are told that most of the issues we have to do with land is really coming from the registrar department, the registrar's side when you go to the lands commission. So Jinapor is actually Minister Sam, should I say Abu, or is it Abdullah or Abu Bakari? Whichever one, Sam Abu Jinapor is admonishing the lands administration to strengthen collaboration for effective land administration. Well, in the middle spread, bringing a uniquely Ghanaian perspective to banking since 1972. We're talking about the Universal Merchant Bank story celebrating 50 years. Yes, 50 years. Let's do the back page. 52% girls and women are anemic. 42% of girls and women are anemic, and this is coming from a reliable source. The health authorities have that to say. God donates to Apiate explosion victims, and that will be my last article there for the Daily Graphic. The Daily Guide, perhaps you heard about the driver and sex worker story. Well, Daily Guide has captured it in today's edition, Tuesday, March 15, 2022. So it's there on page 6. Judgment Day for coup monger Oliver Baker. Is it Baker or Baker? Well, I'm trying to brutalize his name. It's Baker. I've heard it time and over. So Oliver Baker Vomawo is he's actually going back to court tomorrow to hear about his bail, whether he'll be granted the bail or not. So that's for tomorrow, but the story is on page 3 of the Daily Guide. So Soup Asepa boss and others trials adjourned. So that's on page 6. Kofi Atto cries foul over acting speaker post. And on the back page on sports, player sacked for assault, and the player, his name is there, but mean to me mbo. Umami 100 Ghana in the mean to me mbo. So you need to grab a copy of the of the newspaper, and you know what I'm talking about. But Partey gets Arteta praise, and you have my praise as well. Partey is doing so well. Nigeria versus Ghana, FIFA changes officials for World Cup playoff clash. Referees maintained. Swag win big at MTN Media Awards. That'll be it for the Daily Guide. Moving on quickly to the new Crusading Guide. Bechile Chief weeps over lack of development. And it's on page 10. I'm ready to face trial. Yes, Oliver, the coup monger, brags in court. And that is on pages 3 and 10. Tete Waka is not a chief. Pram elders say. Stop hating Ken Ofori Atta, Razak Opoku to the NBC and all other critics. All other, I'm not part. It's time for NPP to break the 8. I believe it's time because the dollar is yet to, well, we'll see whether the dollar gets to break before NPP does, but for the fuel prices, and 2022 World Cup playoff, Nigeria sends spies to Ghana ahead of first leg. GPL, the title race is not over, Samuel Buedu insists. That will be it for the new crusading guide, and the most authoritative newspaper, the Ghanaian Times. I'm ready to stand trial, treason felony case. That's Oliver Baker from a Hotels Court. And on page 16, we have 10 died in 3 separate road crashes on Sunday. And I keep saying since yesterday that there's been too many deaths this weekend. It looks more, or it looked more like a black weekend. I don't think the number is 10. I mean, if we look at all that has ensued just this weekend, the University of Education students, that particular accident, we reports about 9 or so. Yes, then the NPP executives, where we have about 6 also perishing. That alone is about 15, right? Then I remember the Nkoko road accident and the groom who also perished, all during the weekend. And there's still more. This is not the only one. Yeah, just this weekend. Well, teacher arrested for murdering wife. Hey, teacher, is this what you teach? Well, we'll make education system resilient to withstand crisis. The chattering bird. Okay, Majatuho. Let's go to the middle spread. On the middle spread, treason felony case, I'll leave that. Will make education is also here. Government moves to transform Lands Commission into effective land administration institution. Abu Jinapo had that to say. Greek officers sensitized to modern biotechnology, and that will be the wrap up for the most authoritative. But the Daily Statesman say AU Commission meets in Accra today on coups. Maybe they need to call Oliver to be in the mix, you know. Maybe you chair affairs there. Well, Africa's integration, not a choice, says the African, is it continental? Yes, African Continental Free Trade Area Secretary General, Mr. Wamkele Mene. Hey, his name reminds me of the Mene Taka. Well, Lands Minister, government to improve. From the Lands Minister, government to improve health, safety in mining area. DI calls for respect for laws. Respect for laws, yes. Chelsea and Roman Abramovich, on that case, is this a moment of reckoning for English football ownership? Arsenal boss Arteta praises Partey after starring, Starling performance in Leicester City win. And last but definitely not the least, the Chronicle Mkondo Sizwe says Wager Mountains geologically weak. Wager Mountains geologically weak, and the Ghana Geological Survey warns of looming catastrophe. Well, this is a warning. So a warning, as we say, a stitch in time saves. So this warning, to be forewarned, is to be, I can continue, but because we don't have time, I leave it here. Groom perishes. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Groom perishes in a road crash on wedding day. The marriage that never materialized. We told the bride is in coma. We pray for the best for her, and condolences to the family of the groom, well as the bride as well. Minister Jinapo receiving a report, so the committee presents a report on safety regime for the mining industry. Wow, okay. NPP supporters in Trifo Himang invade party office over election brouhaha. Hey. Anyway, I leave that alone. On the back page, 200 investors queue to buy 3 billion euros Chelsea. Yes, and Chairman Wuntumi is in the middle of that. He is offering 3.1, by the way. So, we are open there. 3.1. Ajax are favorites as they welcome Benfica. And will Diego Simeone finally overcome his Ronaldo curse as Man United host Atletico Madrid? I hope you do. I hope you do. And that will be a wrap up for the newspaper headlines segment. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, political discussion. Don't go anywhere.